Welcome to the second half of the tier list. What does that mean? It means watch part 1, jackass. Alrighty. Here we are. Remember this? Do you remember? Do you remember? So, what we have here is a streamer trying to figure out where his mouse is going to click. Okay. Okay. We're ranking tier list sorting the ZUN portraits of the video games. And we finished SA last time, and I left the other half because it was gonna go on for too late, and I didn't want to risk it going too long and then just speeding through everything. You know? That's really all it is. Alright, so everybody knows what's going on. Let's begin right away with UFO Reimu. UFO Reimu is perfectly fine. There's nothing unique about UFO Reimu's design. It's just Reimu. It is very, very straightforwardly Reimu. That's it. It's just Reimu. There's nothing else I can say. I mean, you could argue that her little thingy is a little darker, yellow, orangey, but like, no. And then we have this creature. I'm putting it here. Now, really cool. It may be a bit of a strong descriptor for it, but I want to know why Marissa has a weird magic stick thing. I don't know what that is. That Marissa emote is frozen. Okay. It was frozen. It wasn't loading. It just stuck. No, her beige apron thing is stupid. It's stupid. But the little magic stick thing, I'm curious as to what exactly that is. I think it's cool. No one's ever done anything with that ever. So, yeah. I'd put her there. It's actually a very, it's a very unique, coloration for Marissa. But not much info is really on it. Alright, and then we have Snai here. It's, I don't know, fine. If I guess if I had to say, this Snai is a little more like closer to what you'd expect from her. She doesn't look that different. She's a little more animated. He's a little more animated, but it's just there's not really any real design choice or change on her from Mountain of Faith. I think that Sanai's portraits look kind of weird to begin with. I'm pretty biased in that, but I'd put her there. Sanai with her long hair. That's the... Well, we got Rat. Okay. Rat's easy. Rat is perfection. Everything you need to know about Rat is right there. It's all right there. All presented. She even has 2 portrait arts. For whatever reason. But yeah, you can see everything about her. Dowsing rods, the mouse basket, the pendant, you know, the clothes. Everything. Everything you need to know about Nazarene is encompassed in her design. It's very good. And that is the same deal for the mid-boss cut-in Nazarene as well. Same deal, you can get a better look, well, not even better look, but you can still get a look and everything is still there. So that Nazarene is good. Gussie, I think, nails it. I don't know if you know what? I am going to put her pose as iconic. You know why? Because I distinctly remember that a number of Kogasa's poses usually, they usually balance her on one leg to represent, most likely to represent that she's a Karakase Obake. But she also winks and exposes her red eye. So I would say that her pose is iconic in the sense that it really gave the idea of how you should pose the character in general. giving her the one-legged stand. It reflects really well to what she is. So I would say that's iconic. I would put that in the iconic tier. That's right, not ironic, iconic. I should have refilled my water. God damn it. Ichiren. Freak show. Now, it's not like she's necessarily a freak show, but she's not even a meme. Ichiren's, like, design isn't even, like, meme status, but it's not very good. The glow up that she got in the fighting games is everything you need from her. Unzon's barely there. She's bland looking. You can't see anything. But like I said, she's not even like bad enough. She's not even like bad enough like the other ones above her to be really meme status. So she's just kind of ugly, you know. There's no identifiable feature. I guess you could put it in not good job, but I just think like Unzon's itty bitty fucking appearance next to her. Unzon's itty bitty appearance next to her, her overall bland design. It's, you know, there's a big correction, huge correction in the fighting games. Trust me. So this is going here. Okay, so remember what I said about Lyrica? How Lyrica has a bit of a weird aspect to her, but it was like pretty quickly corrected. Murasa's shorts versus skirt issue with ZUN's shading and clothes making have completely changed how this character kind of is. It's very funny to me because she's not supposed to be wearing shorts, but well, that's what she's known for now, and now she's wearing shorts and everything. And most people give her very baggy shorts to, you know, represent closer to what it looks like in ZUN's art. So, like, Murasa's fine, but in particular here, ZUN could not communicate what she was wearing on her waist, and it turned into shorts, and that became the de facto, this is what she's wearing. The shorts are nice, though, and it's more unique for the character. Also, I believe that Chieri's uniform, combined with the fact that UFO had some like cheeky nods to PC98 in general, was kind of what helped move Murasa's design towards that in general. So like, oh, is it a skirt? Most characters wear a skirt. Oh, is it shorts? Well, I mean, sailor suit, sailor character, Touhou 3, you know. I could imagine something like that had some form of influence. Maybe not the strongest influence, mind you, but even still. Like I said, Lyrica had the same problem. It was just the shading on the skirt in particular just made it look like shorts because there was a break down the middle. That's really all it was. Show is pretty straightforward, just like Nazarene. You can see everything, the pagoda and the spear. The spear being present there, I think, is a great touch, because otherwise it would be one of those things that you just hear about. Even though she doesn't use it, she does carry it on her like that. It's got everything you need to see about Show right there. No additional flair required, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see more of her. That's all. And Byakuren. So, I wouldn't call Byakuren's pose iconic, but I am going to put this here. And the reason for that, now, she's got a cape in this game. The only reason I'm putting it here is because it was unclear in her release whether or not her hair was an actual two-tone gradient, or if it was a reflection of light from the scroll above her head. So the purple in her hair wasn't necessarily known to be her natural hair color or not. It was confirmed eventually, and you know, the fighting games and everything eventually rolled with it, and you could see it without the scroll above her head. But because UFO always had the scroll above her head in her art, it was like, oh, is that just lighting from the scroll? But no, it's her actual hair color. And I brought it up in my inconsistency video, but there's art of fully brunette Byakuren very early on. that existed. So I can't say it's perfection in design because there was a little mishap with that. But everything else about the character is explicitly clear, as well as the design on the air scroll, which I think is very good. But it's just that. It's just that. Alright, and then we have New. New got a flat ass head, dude. But New does show everything you need to see. The wings, the way they work, the way they bend, the way they wiggle. It's got the snake, the trident, the socks. Everything you need to know about Nue is right there in Nue's portrait. Very good. Very good. And then we're on... So this is double spoiler Aya. Double spoiler Aya has pointed ears. And I would argue that this Aya is also considerable perfection in design. Actually, I would say I'm actually going to move... I'm going to move this one down. Because this Aya is definitely the most well-known Aya. The only difference, I suppose, is that some people like to draw Aya with a much shorter skirt. And I think that's probably because of the fighting games. But the hat not having any real accessories to it, like you see. The camera more present than usual. The outfit, in general, also she's wearing the gaita like very clearly. You can see the end of it. So and the pointed ears, and she has pointed ears. You can see. So this is probably Aya's more de facto design in general. Although people do draw her with human ears a lot. It's kind of hard to find. Hard to find some examples. Earlier games, like fan games, she tended to have human ears, but there is a lot of fan art that does give her pointed ears nowadays. So yeah, it's a more interesting character trope in my opinion. So I think that this Aya is most representative of Aya's more common design. Maybe her hair is a bit longer, but really I think it's more though the camera present, the hat, and you can see the type of shoes she wears clearly. You can infer that they're gaita. I'm pretty sure they're mentioned to be gaita in her omakes or something, but you can actually see it in the portrait art in that one. So yeah, shoot the bullet. Or double spoiler. Double spoiler. Then you have this character, who I think is the same with Aya. Hitate has everything you need to see as well. You can see everything the same way. I think she has pointed ears. Her hair color is kind of a darker brown, but you can see her hat. Same with Aya. There's no accessories to the token. You can see her camera. That's her phone. You can see her shoes. You can see everything you need to see about her design. Everything you need to know about Hitate is right there, which is good because there's not much else Hitate to go off of, like at all. Like I genuinely don't understand why ZUN thought it was a good idea to have to make the player beat the entire game to unlock the other character, even though the other character is the one on the jewel case. But streamer, it's called double spoiler because you play through it twice. No. No, it's not. No. Shut up. Do not put your do not pull a you can now play as Luigi on me when your character isn't even established like Luigi. That's what Hitate is. Hitate is the fucking you can now play as Luigi character. Except instead of having notoriety as fucking Luigi, she's just a new character. Congrats, you beat the game as Aya, a character who has been established for a while now. Now you can play as Hitate. She's like Aya, but not. Have fun. Is there anything different about her? Yeah, some of the scenes were not designed with her in mind. Oh, fun. Okay. Some scenes are actually easier with Hitate, and some are harder. And I'm pretty sure that's mostly just because of how the scenes are designed for Aya, whether or not her mechanic works for them, and that the scenes were not designed with her necessarily in mind, like, at all. Now, I might be wrong, but I never played as her, because why the fuck would I want to play through double spoiler again immediately after beating it the first time? I played fucking forever on that game, dude. Alright, we're on 10 desires. Up you go. Up you go. Up you go. So once again, standard Reimu. Very standard Reimu. More common shoes. More common color for her neck ribbon. Stick is getting big. Sleeves. Just, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. It's just Yomu. Or Reimu. This Marissa is gonna go here. She's fine. She's fine, but that purplish pink ribbon that she's got on confuses me. It's just so random. Like, her head just radiates pink for no reason. I don't know why. It's not purple. Now, this is the Sanai. Okay, so this Sanai right here, I think, is the epitome of Sanai's more well-known design. Her hair is still pretty arguably long, mostly because you can see the big curl from the snake ornament. The frog hairband is gone. Her eyes are changed. And her skirt length has dropped to above her knees, or I guess raised above her knees. So this is the most accurate design to what Sanai is known for in Fanon. Although I'd say the most accurate is probably the Hisotensoku portrait art, not the sprite, the portrait art. But it's funny because you'll see later in when ZUN gave Sanai a haircut, and then like, people were following the design for her. Then ZUN gave her a short skirt, and so the common depiction started giving her a shorter skirt, like Reimu's length, because she has a really long one that goes down her shins, but now it stops above her knee, and people were going with that. And then in Lol K, ZUN was like, "Hey, we cut her hair," and the fans were like, "That's cool," and then no one drew it. Sanai with shorter hair is such a foreign concept to people. But I just think it's really funny because the other changes that ZUN made about her were reflective in fan designs. People were like, "Oh, cool, short skirt confirmed. All right, we're going with that forever." And then ZUN cut her hair, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I don't think I've ever actually seen art of Sanai's hair like as short as ZUN has drawn it the last 9 years. Wow. Yeah, 9 years. It'll be 10 this year, actually, because Lol K is 2015. Oh, man. Lol K will be 10 years old this year. Oh, God. Yomu. Definitive Yomu right here. Definitive Yomu. You can see Myon, you can see the sword, you can see the sheath, you can see Yomu, you can see everything you need to see about Yomu. Hair, eye, all of it. That's very good Yomu, very accurate Yomu. Short sleeve Yomu too. It's funny, Yomu had long sleeves in her debut, and then for the most part, she ended up getting short sleeves. I'm pretty sure she had long sleeves in another game as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but usually Yomu had short sleeves, where she had long sleeves in her debut. Yuko from 10 Desires. So, I would probably just put her in here. Because it's the same deal where the most, I mentioned last part, but the most common kimono pattern for Yuko is her PCB one. So her art is fine, there's nothing wrong with her art, but the design of the kimono is not super reflective of usual. So, that's all. It's still Yuko. It's Yuko from a different angle. Arms are crossed, different pattern design. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Kyoko. Kyoko's an interesting one because her design is fine, but I wouldn't say her portrait reflects the fact that she's very loud, you know? But that's also kind of hard to do. Like, her design is fine, you can see everything you need to see, but the the idea that she's loud, I guess, isn't really super communicated. Her pose is a little straightforward, I suppose. That's all. But her design, like I said, it's got everything you need to know about her. Even the fucking broom, which she always has. But with other characters, sure, you can't... That's a hard thing to express. That's obviously a hard thing to express, but, you know, just put her hand near her mouth like she's shouting, right? She's got that echo effect. Alright, and Gusty's back. So, same deal, but now you get the full render of her body. Still iconic. Still iconic. Well, actually, I guess I can put this one in perfection because you can see the full body. But it's still iconic. It's the same pose. But because you can see the whole body now it's you can see the whole design. Yoshika. Yoshika is fine. Now, Yoshika's a little interesting because obviously she's dead. We know that Yoshika's dead and that her skin is pale because she is dead. But she's like well maintained because of Seiya. And according to an interview that ZUN did about 10 Desires, there was he was considering making Yoshika's skin tone closer to blue, citing Hishenko from Darkstalkers as a, you know, inspiration for that. But he opted against it because he didn't want to make her too much like that. So that's why she's pale, but she's not blue. But if you've seen fan art of Yoshika, you've seen there's varying degrees of skin health. Sometimes people draw her with healthy skin like she's alive, and sometimes people draw her purple or blue or any mix of the two because she's dead and she's a corpse and she's rotting. So, you know, it depends on the piece, but she has a pretty generous range of skin tone for as far as characters go. But yeah, everything is kind of there. You can see it all. You can't see what the talisman says. That's a point of contention there. But everything else is communicated just fine with the character. I would put her there, though. Seiya, Seiya is probably the same. No, I think I'd probably put her here. Seiya is communicated well. You can see everything, including a detail on her leg that's not always present in fan art. A very small one with a talisman in it. But you can see the chisel, you can see her weird Hagoromo. You can see how her outfit's designed, her shoe wear, her hairstyle. You can see everything you need to see about Seiya. It's all present in the portrait art. It is good. Tojiko. Tojiko is weird. Now, you can't really see it here. Maybe if I zoom in, you can see it. Maybe if I zoom in, you can see it. Streamer, that's a little too close, don't you think? Yeah, but don't worry about it. We'll get there eventually. Where is it? There. So, I don't know if you noticed, but Tojiko is very pink. For no reason. For no reason that I can find, Tojiko's skin tone is very pink. No other character has a skin tone like this. None of them. I don't get it. It's very weird. And it's something that is not... Whoa. It's something that is not reflected in design and fan designs, like, at all. So, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like how Kasume is made of felt paper. But the thing is, it's not like it's not a good job. Like, it communicates the character well. It's just she's pink. I don't know why she's pink. Why is she pink? Futo? Okay, this is an easy one. This is an easy one because Futo's pose is iconic. The fighting games, one of Futo's intros from the fighting games is her putting a stack of plates up and then popping out them with this pose. So I would call that iconic. Wapow. It's an iconic pose, you know? It looks like she's riding on something, and she does ride the boat. The only thing is, as you know, I talked about it before, but the feng shui ribbons with the hat, the collar, the legs, and the arms, how there's a difference with the fighting game one that makes it kind of cleaner. So it's an iconic pose, and it's still Futo, but the way the feng shui ribbons are, I actually couldn't tell you which of the two designs is more prominent in that regard. I would assume it's the fighting game one, but who knows? Who knows? Either way, I can put her in iconic because that pose is simply iconic. Miko. Now, Miko, I'm not sure. So, let me explain with Miko. So, in ZUN's art, we see the 7-star sword that's sheathed to her, as you can see it on her side. Her eye color is gray. She doesn't have a cape, and she's wearing socks with her shoes. Or they're just very strange boots. I don't know. But then in the fighting games, she got a big cape, big flashy fucking cape. Her hair color became a more pronounced yellow. She wears like, her eyes became gold, and she doesn't wear socks anymore. She just has sandals and no socks. So, it's kind of weird because I'm not sure which of the... It's mostly in the footwear, I suppose. I'm not sure which of the footwear is more prominent. The one where she's wearing the white socks with them, or where she's barefoot. But there is some changes made to her overall design from the fighting games that I feel are much more prominent on the character. Namely, the eye color and the cape are the big ones, right? But the footwear is, I actually can't tell if they're socks is the thing. When you look at Miko's shoes, when you look at them in 10 Desires, like, it's hard to see anything that indicates socks. It's probably easy to assume they're socks based on the fact that she's wearing the same golden shoe type in the fighting games, but she's not wearing socks so you can see her feet. But they could, because of the way the socks are along her foot, it kind of makes it look like she's wearing the like fancy gold and white shoes. But I'm pretty sure it's more likely socks. But you can't see the folds of the socks on the ankles is the thing. The socks just disappear. So they could just be solid shoes. I have no idea. And like I said, she's barefoot. In the same design of the sandals, she's barefoot in the fighting game. So were they socks? Or were they shoes? What is the correct answer? I don't know. I have no idea. But I'd put her there as a result. New, she took her feet. They took her feet. The big truck. Mamizo. Fine. If I had to pick something here that's not communicated as well as it is by fans, it's probably just the size of her tail. That's pretty much it. Hold on a sec, chat. The size of Mamizo's tail is pretty... I mean, it's still big, I suppose, but fighting games made it fucking huge. But everything else is there. The sake jug she carries around is there. The notepad she carries around, which is not really ever really mentioned or talked about. The leaf on her head is there. She's got her glasses. You can see how her outfit works. I think the only thing there, really, is just the fact that her tail has been exaggerated to a enormous degree. And in here, it's actually relatively tame, comparatively. Alright, now we have Touhou 14 Reimu. The spirit of Reimu Kill. When she's holding the death stick. Once again, Reimu's design at this point has kind of solidified. There's nothing really about her that's different or stand out. It's just Reimu. just Reimu. It's Reimu. Marissa, holy shit, look at her standing next to Sakuya. Wait a minute. Wait, look at them standing next to Cherno. Cherno's massive. She's a super giant. Now, this Marissa actually does have her Hakudo in the art, but that's required because of the whole idea of the game. This is probably the perfect Marissa. The ribbons are right, the Hakudo's present, the height is correct. Like everything you need is right there for the character. That's Marissa in a nutshell. And then you have Sakuya. Now, once again, I'm going to put this Sakuya, another Sakuya up here. So I mentioned before, Winter Sakuya is very good design. IN Sakuya is the quintessential Sakuya. And then Touhou 14 gave her stockings, and it's like, okay. And that's not the quintessential design, but you can see everything I mentioned with Touhou 8 Sakuya is present on Touhou 14 Sakuya's design. Everything. With an addition of stockings, which makes it even better. So this is Touhou 14's Cherno. I would probably put her up here. So the reason for this, so first of all, her ribbon color is different. It's blue. It's always hovered between blue and green anyway. I don't know which of the two is more popular, but I'm pretty sure blue is the more well-known one. But mainly I'm putting this iconic because her wings, while you don't see 6 of them, are broken into separate chunks. Whereas the ones in the previous games, especially the EOSD, by extension PCB, the art of them is a lot more clustered. I mean, it looks more like 6 individual icicles in POFE, and obviously Great Fairy Wars was more of the establisher for that anyway, but double dealing characters, Cherno, random Cherno appearance does lean more into the more separate wings, and I think that is the more common Cherno one. So I think this particular Cherno has been molded by the years to fit the design that's most well known. So that's why I'd call it perfection in design, because it had a lot of time with different things to kind of paint the picture, or it was already established essentially, like this is what she looks like, so just kind of roll with it. Iconic pose but drained of charisma. Is it an iconic pose? She's just got her hands on her hips. You know, actually, you're right. That is her iconic pose. She does do that, doesn't she? Isn't it usually crossing her arms? I thought she's usually crossing her arms with the wide stance, not putting her fists on her side. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave her there. I think the crossed-armed ones is the more iconic one. That's what I'm picturing. Ooh, we got Wagasaki Hime. Pretty easy one to slot in here. Mermaid, you can see her outfit, you can see her fishtail. You can't see how her tail connects to her body, I suppose, but, well, there's plenty of mermaid girls you can use as reference for that part, so it's fine. Bonky is probably fine. Core concept's clear. Why am I not, why? Well, I'm pretty sure in her damaged art you can actually, pardon me. In her damaged art you can actually see Bonky's neck. So she has a neck, just in case you were wondering. But the whole point of the cape is to hide the neck in general. So there's a piece of her design that's left hidden and mysterious, and you know, it's up to creativity. But we know her head can come off, but she moves her cape out of the way so you can see how her shirt looks. You can see how her outfit looks. So I think that's everything you need to know is there, but you have to take some creative liberty with the neck area. That's all. Kagero is a little interesting. How do I say this? So, everything you need to know about Kagero is kind of there, but not really. For one, some people like to make her dress drape below her shoulders. I don't know where that came from, honestly, but it's a pretty popular design choice for her to have her dress like drape over her shoulders, so you can see her whole upper torso area, collarbone to shoulder. The other thing here is that her wrists are very hairy. So remember, this particular Kagero portrait is affected by the full moon, so she's extra hairy. And you can see it in her damage art as well, where hair gets all over her. But you can see in her wrists a little bit of hair. And this is an aspect of the character that is not very common, to a point where it's not even there at all ever. That's all. So, yeah, it's still Kagero, but this particular instance of Kagero is not necessarily... The hairiness is not reflected very often, if at all. That's all. Ben and Yatsuhashi, okay. So, neat thing about Ben that I think is cool is that she has her instrument, and she has, like, the strings, which are magical, but then she also has the instrument chained to her wrist. Like, so it's always dangling, but it's kept in place, I assume, by the magic red lines. So you can see everything you need to see about her, but her design is also pretty unique. Yatsuhashi has a reputation of being, you know, maybe it's not just me. Before you say, streamer, it's just you. Yatsuhashi's design is very, very simple. It's very simple. And there's a particular meme where somebody took every single character's portrait art at the time and fused them together to create the perfect Touhou character. And the end result was a character who looked like Yatsuhashi, which I thought was really funny. So she gets to be a meme by extension, but she really is a very simple design in a lot of ways. Sure, she's got some aesthetics to her that are neat, but overall, she's not really stand out. She's not so basic that nothing's identifiable, thankfully for her, but she's mostly just a meme. She's she's just the average Touhou character. This is the definitive Seiya. This Seiya right here is the definitive Seiya. You can't see her front on the portrait, that's fine, but there's a particular reason why I'm putting this here. I'll get to that right now, actually, with this one. This is something you might have never noticed, and this is going to spoil the video I'm working on. But to be fair, I haven't worked on that video in like 10 days now because I've been so focused on art. I'll get back to it eventually. So, I don't know how many of you ever noticed this, but the Seiya portrait from DDC and ISC are different. Well, obviously, streamer. But no, I'm not talking about the angle, I'm talking about the hairstyle. I don't know if you noticed it, but in Double Dealing Character, Seiya has one long streak of red hair. And she has a lot of individual white highlights. In Impossible Spell Card, she has one long streak of white hair and a bunch of red highlights. And the thing is, her back sprite is reflective of this art, where you can see a lot of little red streaks in her hair, in her player sprite. However, this particular Seiya is only used in the menu and title. All of the story segments of the game use the DDC art of Seiya. So while this is the Seiya you see in the menu, this is the Seiya you see in all of the cutscenes. But the player sprite is reflective of this design with the multiple red highlights, whereas, yeah, this is the most iconic Seiya. This Seiya right here is the definitive fan idea of it. And obviously DDC came first, so on and so forth. But there was an update to her design and her hair. But if you look at pretty much any Seiya fan art, or even Seiya, like official Seiya colored art, you will probably see the design is based on DDC, with the red streak and the multiple white highlights. Whereas she is inversed on her hairstyle in Impossible Spell Card, but it never really picked up. And I didn't notice that until I was working on the video, and I was like, wait a minute, her hair is wrong. Like, I said it was wrong. I was like, no, it's different. But it's different to a degree that you feel like somebody would notice it, but I've never seen anybody do it like that. Just never noticed it. It's very weird. It's cool, though. Shimmy. Shimmy's design is kind of weird. I do think it's fine here. You can't see her bowl, which is actually for the best, because in the fighting games, you can't really see what she looks like in her bowl, but you can see her bowl. But here, you can see the bowl hat, you can see the mallet, and you can see her needle that she uses as a weapon. I have no idea what the ship between the needle and the hammer is, but that doesn't matter. You can see everything else you need to see. You can see the design on the kimono, you can see the obi a little bit, but you can at least see how it's designed and infer from there. So everything you need to know about Shimmy is present there. And then Raiko. Well, it's a good thing Raiko's design is so good, because it's the only one we ever got of her. You can see her drum, you can see her outfit, you can see everything you need to see about her. She's pretty great. That's all I got. I don't have anything special to say about Raiko. She's got that big drum and the little drums. Wait, does she ever, Okay, yeah, she also does have the drumsticks on her heels. She uses those. She uses those in 15.5. She kicks the drum she's on, with her heels. It's pretty cool. Alright, now we have Lol K Reimu. So, this is when things got kind of weird for Reimu. So, for the last couple games, we've had Reimu with brown hair, right? Brown hair Reimu, brown hair Reimu, brown hair Reimu. Like, Reimu makes sense. And now we have black hair. Uncontestably black hair, straight banged Reimu. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. It's funny, because, like, Memories of Phantasm actually does kind of have a Reimu like this as well. But I'm pretty sure their Reimu still has the split in her bangs at the middle of her head. That triangle split is present on most, if not all, of her art. But here, they're just flat. And she has shorter hair, and she's got her blue ribbon. So it's still Reimu, but I'm going to actually put her in weird. Because her hairstyle is... She got a haircut for this game. She got a haircut in this game. Okay, do I need to explain myself for this one? Do I need to explain myself for this one? This one kind of speaks for itself. Nothing I can say will have any, you know, there's nothing I need to say about that one. Now, here's Snai. So, once again, I'm gonna put it as weird standout feature. She's also got really high socks now. I don't know why. Yeah, she has really high socks. She's got the short skirt, and her hair is cut. And like I said, this is the part where people did not give a shit about what ZUN was doing with Snai anymore. They had found their Snai design. And they were rolling with it. Anything else that came after this did not matter. So it's still Snai, but I'm gonna call it the weird standout feature, because the hair is something that is not reflective on many, if any, fan designs at all. And it's even funnier because when Snai shows up in official manga, even Sanai's appearance in official manga, she still has obviously long hair. All of them. Even the ones that are still running right now, all of her appearances have comically large hair, like raisin level down to her ass type of hair. And ZUN has not done that with the character in going on 10 fucking years. 10 fucking years. ZUN has been with this design of Sanai since LOL-K, and nobody is picking up on it. Stubborn old man is what he is. Let her grow her hair out again, damn it. Speaking of, like, look at this, hair to your ass. Now we have Raisin. This is LOL-K Raisin. So, I do believe I put, yeah, I'm gonna have to put this up here. I'm not really a fan. I think the blazer is the most iconic design for Raisin by far. But if you want to talk without the blazer, then LOL-K Raisin is the most iconic for that. But blazer specifically, and between the two blazers, definitely the more common. Also, you can see her stupid gun. I think her gun is stupid. It's dumb. It is so much cooler that she shoots bullets from finger guns. She puts her finger and go bang. But when they gave her that weird fucking rabbit megaphone gun, it looks like a toy. It looks like the kind of thing that you would design for like a fucking E10 game. Or like, oh, a gun. Here you go. It's got bunny ears. It goes wee wee wee. Like, god damn it. Like DK's shotgun. They were just gonna give DK a shotgun. And then they turned it into a coconut gun that fires in spurts. Could you imagine DK with a shotgun? I mean, Mario got one, right? Hey, if Mario got one. Unofficially, mind you, but he got one. I think I'd probably put Satan. No, I'd probably put her here. I think Satan's design conveys everything it needs to. She's just Satan though, so it is what it is. But yeah, everything you need to know about her design is present right there and then. And that's all there is to it, really. There's not much else to say. Ringo. Ringo, I think, is fine. I don't know if I call it perfection of design. It might just be the pose that's bothering me with it. Because the way she's like, the way she's sitting, she's air sitting, right? So she kind of looks like a munchkin. She looks kind of like a munchkin with the way she's sitting. Most characters, they're standing, right? You can see them. She's a weird character because she's sitting in the air. It's kind of strange. So I feel like there's a part of her that's missing in detail. Obviously, height is something that has to be guessed all the time anyway. Also, she has really small ears. She has really small rabbit ears being pushed down the side under her cap. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so I'd say it's still fine, but it's just her pose that makes it a little not super clear on every aspect. But you can see that she's eaten, so, you know. You can see that she's eaten. Alright. Doremi. I'd put her here. Now, the reason I'd put her here, so you can kind of see Doremi's hair when in the destroyed art. You can also see her dream diary, and it has a little D mark on it. And she's got the dream soul. You can see her tail. The only reason I'm not putting it higher is because, specifically with LOL-K Doremi, her dress is a single, or at the very least it looks like it's a single piece of clothing. So it goes black, white, black. It's a single piece of clothing. In the fighting games, her hat is longer, because she is known to have long hair. So her hat got even longer, like hilariously longer. She still has the dream soul, but it's a lot more malleable. I believe she still has the dream diary, and it doesn't have the D on it anymore. But the most important part of her design update was that the top part of her dress turned into a capelet instead of actually being part of the dress. So it's still the same design as it was in LOL-K, but now it's a different article of clothing entirely, and the dress is just long white with the hem of it being a black. And that small difference is actually the most prominent Doremi of all of them. Now, the thing is, like I said, it's not explicitly clear in ZUN's art if that was the case. It's possible because you can still see the little turtleneck bit coming out that's white, but the way he drew it, it looks like it's all one piece of clothing. But it's very clear in the fighting game portraits and the fighting game sprite work as well that it's an accessory on top of the dress. And yeah, that is the most common depiction of Doremi's outfit that you will see, is where it's clear to see how the top part is separate from the rest of the clothes. So ZUN did not convey it super properly, if that's what he was going for in with Doremi. But yeah, otherwise it's still Doremi. Everything else is there. Just that one particular instance that is clear on other things. Sagumi. Sagumi is fine. Okay, so the only thing I think I can say about Sagumi that kind of is weird is it looks like the wing that's coming out of her back is large. It's large to the point where it would have to be curling super hard inwards to actually be on her back and not just fly past her back. Do you see what I mean? Like, if you look at the wing, you can see how the ends split, right? And you can see how it starts to curve up and it's getting ready to curve down, but there's not enough room for it to curve down. So the wing realistically should be attached to the behind, you know, it should be attached on the back, on the side of the arm that it's behind, but it looks like the wing goes further than her body based on just how it looks to me. That's kind of it. Now, what's funny to me is that she has that little fucking Conan bow tie, and I actually don't know if anybody draws that specific detail when they draw Sagame. Because Sagame has the little, she's got the bow tie that Conan uses to speak like Mori-san. But, like, I honestly can't visualize a single piece of fan art where I can clearly see that. I don't know if people draw it or not. I'd assume they would. But it's one of those things that's just like, it's there, but do you even really think about it? It's got a little speaker on it. Yeah. And I'm 90% sure it's a reference to maybe not that specific bow tie, but like Conan has a lot more influence on things than you would expect, I suppose. I mean, it's so long running, right? It's pretty long running. It has a pretty big influence on a lot of things. I wonder if it's more referential than like JoJo's. I don't know. JoJo's really feels like one of the most definitive reference type series, and you just make a reference to something from Bizarre Adventure, because why not, right? I couldn't tell you exactly, but obviously Touhou has a number of JoJo's references itself, but just in general, like, do you think a lot of people try to reference JoJo's because it's just really popular? It's just well known for being as referenced as it is. Never really thought of it. But once you know JoJo's, you can recognize JoJo's. That's all. Anyway. Clown Piece's design shows all you need to see. The torch, the outfit, the hat, hair, and even the wings. You can see her wings. Not that those are always there. And that's it, really. It's got a long sleeve variant. You see a Visionary, which is just an extension of her main outfit. Nothing too crazy about that. Junko. Okay. So this is probably fine. Same thing with Kaguya. Junko just has a really long dress that you don't see you don't see her feet. But that's fine, because you don't need to see her feet. If you're giving her clothes, you're giving her clothes. Now, there is a panel in Visionary. Where Makoto did draw Junko from an angle where you can see her shoes, and she's actually wearing these fancy black shoes. The kind of shoes you'd expect a character of her age, let's say, to be wearing. But I think most fan art, you know, if they're putting her in the dress, they don't care about the feet. And if they're not putting her in the dress, they really don't care about what's on the feet. And if they're putting her in an alternate outfit, then they're gonna pick footwear to match the outfit, right? They're not just gonna put her in whatever. So that's all. Otherwise, everything you need to know about the character's design is right there for you. Even the cool aura effect on her. That's interesting. All the characters in all the characters in Law K have a silhouette behind them. Junko doesn't, but she has the foxtails. But then Hikatia doesn't have it at all. I don't know what, it might be a bit mean to say. Cause, okay, listen. Hikatia can go in like 3 or 4 different categories here. She can go in the freak show by accident, because one of her most well-known nicknames is Freaky T-shirt Weirdo. There's the rough bit, because her design is very silly. There's the perfect category, because her design is encapsulated perfectly in her pose. And there's also ZUN fucked up. And by ZUN fucked up, I mean he made that stupid shirt and it became super iconic to her. So, that, like, the shirt was, the shirt is what he settled on. The shirt was supposed to be representative of the simple aspect of her design, while the planets were meant to be the weird part of her design. And that's not what happened. He goofed it. He goofed it. So I'm gonna put her here because I think it's funny to put her here. Thank you, Little Big Trouble, for the resub. I think it's funny to put her here because the idea that ZUN's design philosophy for the character was, oh, the planets on her head and chained to her neck are kind of weird. So I need to make her other contrast a simple design. So I'm just gonna give her a black T-shirt that says "Welcome Hell," and that was the part that got her synonymous with being a weirdo. So that's kind of where he fucked up. All right. So now we're going to 16. So this Reimu was core concepts, perfect. She's still got the black hair. But the spacing, the part in the front of the bangs is present. So it's just Reimu with black hair. That's it. Standard Reimu, black hair. So core concepts perfectly clear. You could even say perfection in design if you want, but not my Reimu. My Reimu got brown hair. Winter Marissa. I'm putting her here. I'm putting her here because she has those pink mittens and that pink scarf, and she's all dressed up for winter. And her broom is very crooked. I don't know why it's crooked like that. Years of her ass bending the material, I suppose. Hold on. Has her broom always been that crooked? Damn, wait a minute. She's been hefty her whole fucking life. Okay. Alright, never mind. Never mind. She's been putting that broom to work for years. It's been bent. Yep, well, there it is. Hella bent, dude. Hella bent. Okay. So this Aya is interesting because this Aya returns. I'm putting her here because I like the overall design on her skirt. But you'll notice this particular Aya has the puffs on the token again. So her hat is back to normal. Her ears are humanoid as well. Her shirt is a lot simpler, which is actually closer to her design. No gaita, or if they are, they're unclear, and they're also black. She's got her fan, and she's got a pen. No notebook, no camera, no familiar. So her hair is definitely probably closer. Her hair is definitely closer to what you know it as, though. It's a lot shorter, but I don't think this... There's some aspects to this particular Aya design that are a bit updated, but not... Well, I don't know. I guess the top... If you really want to say the top half of this Aya, minus the hat, is pretty close to what Aya is known as. But yeah, I think that's up for a debate. But I'm gonna put it there because I just think the design on her skirt is cool, and it's not something anybody ever wants to spend time drawing. Just fuck that. Now we have tanned Chirno. Now this right here, this is Chirno's best design. Not because she's tan, but because now the wings are there. You can see the wings. 6 wings, 6 individual ice crystals on the wings. Blue ribbons there. It's all there. Everything you need to know is there. Her ribbon is... I think her ribbon is still there. It's just like under the sunflower. That's all. But yeah, I'll just put it there. Chirno with a tan. Eternity Larva. Eternity shows everything you need to see. Even gives a good show of the design on her wing pattern, which is great. You can see the leaf crown, the antenna, the dress, barefoot. Everything you need to see about Eternity is right there. No extra research required. Nemono is the same way. Oh, whoops. Nemono is the same way. Once again, just everything is there. Now, her outfit is ugly. Let's be real. Her outfit is ugly. Her machete looks kind of weird, and it also has a ribbon tied to it for some godforsaken reason. But you can see everything you need to see about the character, so ZUN did deliver on that front. He did a very good job with that. It's just a shame that the character is absolutely... that no one cares. Now we have On. So, On... I would probably put On here. If only because there's some variance in her outfit design and how her hair curls at the bottom of her at the end of her hair, because she's a Komainu. But otherwise, yeah, that On is pretty solid. Not too much has changed from her. You gotta wonder though how much really ends up getting changed from characters who don't make many if any more appearances versus popularity to fan art in general actually creating new and distinct things. Because with older characters, I do wonder how many older characters were kind of like parts of their designs were influenced by really popular pieces of fan art back when the series was more new, right? Less like overly established. Now obviously like the people that work on the official portraits that for games where ZUN doesn't do the portrait art do add aspects to design as well. But like I'm talking like purely, oh, somebody drew this character like this and it was like, wow, this is really cool, and that particular interpretation just kind of caught on and it became kind of a staple. Like, oh, this is how, like, it became less of a this is how I draw this character, and it became more of a definitive, this is how you should draw this character. I have no examples. I couldn't give you a single example, but I'm curious about something like that. Because Parsi, I'm looking at her right now. Parsi has that shirt design with the exposed shoulders that you cannot see at all. And that's a very well-known design for her. But I have no idea where that design even came from at all. Was that just popularized by like one person? One person made it and it caught on? Did a bunch of people make it and it caught on? Like, because there's no official material that shows what Parsi's undershirt under her, like, orange-brown top shirt looks like. But we have a very well-known interpretation of it, and you gotta wonder where it came from because there's nothing official about it, right? I wonder about that. Raisin is well, Raisin's ears have always kind of been as they are, I suppose. But no, it's probably more questionable with some older characters, right? I guess I'm just wondering if fans had any influence. Oh, that just reminded me, Chad. I was looking at Chen. I had a dream last night. Where I was fighting Chen in the PCB game, and while she was fighting, her player sprite changed, and so instead of her usual outfit, she was wearing like martial artist's gear. Like she had like a kind of like, I guess you could kind of imagine it like a character like Ryu's like top, like Ryu's top, but not as jagged and torn, more straight cut. But the shirt's also longer, so it goes down to her thighs, and she's wearing spats. And like she took up a battle stance, and I was like, oh shit, Chen got a cool outfit. It was a red outfit, and the ends were lined with yellow. And then she also entered a third form where her tail got huge, and it split. So it was like one tail, and it split at the end. And then she had like a crazy fucking like dress like Ron and Yukari that had a bunch of like outward juts to it. It was kind of insane. It kind of looked like fucking armor more than an outfit. But she just super powered Chen. And I woke up. So, yeah. I have no idea how to describe that one, but I feel like I could I had something with with the other one. Yeah, that was an interesting dream. Cuz in the dream I was like, "Wait a minute, is that legit? Did that happen? Is that a thing she does and I never noticed?" And I was about to like redo my video, the Chen portion, to add that. And then I woke up and I was like, "Wait a minute, that can't be, that doesn't happen. Surely that doesn't happen. She doesn't just change clothes in the middle of the fight, right?" No, she doesn't. She doesn't at all. She doesn't at all. It doesn't happen. Narumi. Narumi is going up here. Narumi's going up here. Same spiel. You can see the hat. You can see the words on it. Kind of, but what's actually written on the hat is not anything unique necessarily, but you can see a character and you can infer the rest of it. But if you know what the straw hats usually say on these guys anyway. You can see the ears, the hairstyle, the clothes. Everything is present. Everything can be seen about Narumi and her art. There's no need to go out of your extra mile for it. These characters are I don't know if I could say they're not good job, because that's just personal bias. I'm just gonna put them here, because here's the thing, chat. They do showcase the individual characters' aspects well, but nobody cares. That's the problem. Nobody cares. Like, sure, the design is there. You know what? I'm gonna put Nemono down here too, because it's the same deal. It's the same deal in Nemono. It's there, but they're so, like, they're just so not there that, like, it doesn't matter, I suppose. Maybe I'm just being picky about it. But, well, Nemono's a very unpopular character to begin with. But everything there is fine for her. I think her fucking knife is stupid, so there you go. Her knife is very stupid. It's just a fucking angled rectangle. Fuck you. But no, like I said, the Mai and Satono's designs are clear enough but they're not particularly interesting, I suppose, to a point where nothing really happens with them. Nobody cares about them. So yeah, you can get everything you need to from there, but if they were really a perfect design, wouldn't more people be interested in them? Right? Right? Alright, and we have Okina. So I would argue that Okina's design is more well known. Would you call her sitting in a chair iconic? I guess you can, because her sitting in a chair is iconic, because that's all she does. But I would say her stage 6 art of her in the chair is the most accurate to what Okina is, for sure. And then the extra form where she's just standing up, it's the same character. You can still see everything you need to see. It's just now you can see her standing up, not sitting down. That's about it, really. That's really it. There's not much difference. So, just put her there. Still got the season stuff going on. So yeah, I'd put her there. Sumireko Usami. Sumireko bothers me a lot with her outfit design. So I'm gonna put her here because this is the more common of her designs. Maybe not so much the cape, but the short sleeves are definitely one of them. Because in her debut, her sleeves are long. She's wearing long sleeve, and she's also got a much deeper purple on her clothes as well. But this outfit in particular has short sleeves, and short sleeve Sumireko is actually the more prominent one you see in the mangas that she appears in. She only really appears with long sleeves in the fighting games. I couldn't tell you about fan art though. Fan art, you'd have to ask someone else about that. So I put her here. Because there's still some aspects to her that are kind of strange. But ZUN does still, and also ZUN's Sumireko also isn't the first iteration of official Sumireko, is another thing as well. So it's weird to say it. It's like his take on his character, but it came second. But the short sleeves one is definitely more prominent of the outfit design for sure. Alright, then we got Reimu here. So this is our defined Reimu. What do I even say? Well, I'd probably put her up here. So you can better see like the curvature in her body. You can get a better look at her hairstyle. So now she's really adopted the black hair with the split down the middle. And this is very quintessential New Age Reimu for sure. This one is very quintessential New Age Reimu. Now, obviously, there's the paw prints along her outfit, which is... Those are what they are. They're not, they're not really important, but they're there. They're there. And then Marissa with her little kitty apron. And also, this is around the point... Well, not really, because LOL-K had it too. But there was a point where Marissa's clothes started to shift from... They started to shift from pure black to more of a darkish blue. LOL-K had the blue outfit. The fighting games, AOCF and Urban Legend Limbo, Antinomy of Common Flowers, their Marissa was more leaning towards a blue glow as well. One of her alternate outfits just puts her in the pure black though, so that's cool. But yeah, there's like a blue hue that's been added to her general outfit. And she has had some appearances, like in SA, for example, where she's fully blue with her winter clothes. She's kind of blue in 16. She's pretty blue in UFO, LOL-K. But then in 17, it's like the blue hue is pretty much there to stay. It's pretty much there to stay. So she's no longer like running the pure black and white. Still black. I still call it black, but the hue of blue it's become very staple to her. And then we have Yomu, and Yomu is, well, Yomu's fine actually. The Wily Beast and Weakest Creatures portrait arts are good because they show everything. They're very good. They're very good landmarks for new age portraits. But yeah, Yomu shows the swords and such again. Like everything you need to know about Yomu's character is still there, and it's all updated, which is cool. So yeah, the Wily Beast and Weakest Creatures portraits are actually very strong portraits. Eika. Eika. She stacks rocks. She stacks rocks. She sits on the rocks. Her outfit design is there. You can kind of see the ends of her hair. I don't know how she's sitting on those rocks. She must not weigh very much. But this is more or less the same argument I gave for Mai and Satono. Like, sure, it's there, but there's not, like, the defining character trait here is the rocks that she's sitting on. That's it. That's it. Rock sitting. Now, Urumi. Not good job. I think that ZUN's overall design for this character kind of missed its mark entirely. Now, obviously, I'm a hater of the clothes. I think her clothes are dumb. I think we just got through the whole playlist. No, we didn't. There's like 2 left. I think her clothes are dumb, and I truly believe that her outfit is the reason why she's so fucking unpopular. Because a character like this doesn't seem like they would be that unpopular. So I think ZUN fucked up. I think whatever ZUN had in mind for this character, he fucked up, and that's why she's not popular. She has all of the makings of what could be a popular character, yet she's just not. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Or I think why. I think it's because of her outfit. Because unlike the other characters, she's kind of a unique species. She's in a unique location. She fishes. Like, goddamn. She's a cowgirl. Like an actual cowgirl. A real one. And her popularity is in the dirt. Oh my god, her popularity is just in the dirt. So yeah, I blame her clothes. I blame her outfit. I think her outfit is ugly as sin. And it makes most people just not give a fuck about her. It certainly isn't because she's holding a stone baby. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I would actually put her in the there because I think that ZUN just blew it. Now, Kutaka with her totally orange dress. Fuck you for saying otherwise. Kutaka's design is good. Now, the pose is kind of iconic based on, the attack animation she does in 17.5. Now, I wouldn't put her in perfection because the 17.5 art of Kutaka has her whistle. That whistle is unique to that game, by the way. She only appears with that whistle in that game. But also the chick in her hair that is probably alive in 17, it doesn't actually change. It always looks the same. It makes a chirp. It goes pee. But in 17.5, when Kutaka emotes, the chick also emotes alongside her. So the chick is a lot more expressive. So I think that the 17.5 Kutaka would be the more well, maybe not even because of 17.5, because the difference in release, but the chick being more like active, the whistle, which give or take might actually not actually matter at all. But yeah, I would say that the cork, also the tail. You can see the tail, the long-tailed chicken. But yeah, I'd say that ZUN's Kutaka is fine, but the additions in 17.5, which may or may not have been there prior to that anyway, is more reflective of what you would want for is more reflective of what Kutaka would be. That's all. I like her silly pose. Her pose is very silly. Alright. Yashie. Yashie's got a stupid pose. Yashie has a stupid pose. She's got yaoi hands, dude. She's got yaoi hands. Alright, we ran out of playlist, chat. We're almost out of playlist. Her design is fine. Now, I think the red eyes are more prominent than the yellow eyes that she'll get later on. Her massive tail, though, that's different. But I think her pose is very silly. And it does not really strike me as scary. But granted, that's more ZUN's fault than anything. That's more ZUN's fault than anything. Like, he just can't really make characters look super imposing or super scary. And Yashie is a character who is kind of a big deal, and her ability is like, oh geez, and then she looks like that. Oh well. But no, everything you need to know about Yashie is right there. You can see everything you need. I think the 19 design is funnier though. The 19 design is funnier, especially with the big tail. Mayumi is pretty neat. I would say Mayumi is good because Mayumi also... What I think is good about Mayumi is that, well, she's dressed up she's dressed up specifically like the soldiers that she's based on. She's got the armband. She's got her weird sword thing, which I don't know what that is. Got the ribbons. You can see everything you need to see about her, but I also really like how her skin tone is a lot more reddish. It kind of helps give the idea that she's made out of clay, as opposed to just being standard. Now, most people draw her with pretty standard skin tone anyway, because there's no reason to go out of your way to get a little creative with the red pot, right? But she does offer, it does help show, and that's the important thing here, is that it helps show. Hold on, I'm just putting something else on. Got it. Okay. All right. Play all. Randomize. All right. Okay. All right, where was I? Anyway, yeah, so Mayumi's portrait does a good job showcasing that she's not made of flesh. She's made of clay. And I think a really cool thing that you can do with Mayumi is you can give her battle damage to an extensive degree that even characters like Kaguya and Moko can't replicate. The idea that Mayumi can like literally break into pieces is really cool. You can do a lot of action-orientated pieces like that, just having parts of her body just straight up missing. And it's not like body horror because she's made of clay. It's fine. It's okay. So yeah, I think Mayumi, it does a good job showing what she is. Even if the skin tone itself isn't really reflected in fan art, it does help showcase that she is in fact not made of flesh. That's all. Now, there's something about Keiki's design that always kind of confused me, and that is, what the fuck is the dragon thing behind her? Like, what is that? And why is that there? I still think the design is good, though. Maybe a little crazy. It's still a little crazy. But, yeah, there's like this dragon behind her, and I don't really know what it's supposed to be reflective of to her at all. I'm not even sure if people draw it. It's cool, though. It's pretty cool. But yeah, she's got all her sculptor tools. You can see how her work clothes are, how she stores things in them as well. So there's like small details on this character's design that really help express like how she functions. Like, you know, she's carrying a bunch of things for her work, but where does she keep them? Oh, she's got pockets. She's got a funny little apron. She's got pockets full of them, so you can just easily access at all times. However, if there's one thing I can say about her portrait art that confuses me, does she use all of those at the same time? Or does she just put them between her fingers like that because she wanted to be intimidating? Because, like, I'm no sculptor, but like, do you claw a brush and you like, you know, I don't think you do that. Can you do that? Maybe she can. She can do anything she wants. But she's just carrying 8 brushes, and it's like, why do you need that many brushes? You don't need those. Alright, and then Saki. You know what makes me laugh about Saki? That fucking entry on the Touhou wiki that suggested that people thought she didn't have a right arm because you couldn't see it at all in her portrait or her sprite. And I was like, what? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, yeah, her arm is just not there. So I'm gonna put her here specifically for that. To be honest, it would have been really cool if she only had one arm, because she's known for her unmatched leg strength, and it would have been really cool if that was because she had to compensate for the fact that she only has one arm. That would have been really cool. So that's weird that she's missing her arm, but the design itself is fine. Saki's design, it's fine. I think really it's saved by the cowboy hat. That's my opinion. It's saved by the cowboy hat. Otherwise, it's just kind of like Nemono's, but not as bad and grungy as Nemono's. Kind of patchworky, but still, the boots and the hat save it. The yeehaw really saves it. All right, now we're on 19, chat. Or sorry, 18. So now we have 18's Reimu. So once again, I would say that 18's Reimu is top here with 17's Reimu. The outfit has been cleaned up. I don't know why, but ZUN decided to start like outlining the entire leg on the outfit, so you can see exactly how her legs work under her dress. I don't know why he did that, why he started doing that, but good for him. But yeah, it's just like Reimu. It's not really different at all from the last game's Reimu. It's just that her outfit has no paw prints on it. Everything else is the same design-wise, even the shoes, which have been known to shift every now and again. Oh. Yeah, Baiken. Baiken from Guilty Gear has one arm, right? She has one arm and one eye. And she's still like a samurai, and she just compensates with the fact she has no arm by being really good with her other one. That's cool. We don't really have any characters in Touhou who just have things like that, I suppose, which is fine. But if there's any character you could imagine having, like, missing a limb, I think Saki is definitely up there. Given her role and position, you know, she's a big boss of an animal group, and she's known for might makes right, so she's constantly getting into fights and such. So her missing an arm would actually be pretty cool, and that might actually give her that probably could have given her more in general. I was gonna say it gives her a leg up over other characters because it's such a unique aspect to her that I think it would have been pretty interesting to play with. But her having 2 arms is fine. There's nothing wrong with having 2 working arms. Alright, there's nothing wrong with 2 working arms. But yeah, I think it would have been cool if she had 1 arm. What about Casson? Casson does technically have 1 arm. But she has magic bandage, which lets her use it as an arm, but also use it like in other ways. So it's not even like a handicap for her. It's not even a handicap for her. It's more like a better arm. But with Saki, it would have been a matter of, oh, she doesn't have an arm, so she compensates with her leg strength. That's why her legs are so good, because she has to make up for the fact that she can only fight with 1 arm, right? That's cool, because that shows an actual handicap and an explanation for why, how they're dealing with it. In Casson's case, she doesn't have an arm, but then her arm does everything that an arm can do anyway, and then some. So it's like, it's not even really a missing arm per se. Obviously, it's not there, but it's a magical arm. It's like if you got a prosthetic arm and your prosthetic arm could turn into a hand cannon, right? Like, that's no longer a handicap. That's just a straight fucking upgrade. Put a donair kebab in my stomach. We need more implants. Chrome me up, boys. Chrome me up. Anyone want some donair? But yeah, I feel like sometimes when people do characters with handicaps in fiction, it's usually a kind of handicap that doesn't actually make much of a difference at all. Like, the handicap is just kind of something like, oh, I'm missing a leg, so I have a prosthetic leg. But then that's it. Like, they don't do anything with the fact that they have a prosthetic leg. They just say that they have a prosthetic leg. Like, you know what's a really good example of handicap? It would probably be Full Metal Alchemist. Now, obviously, having a full metal arm and a full metal leg you would consider an upgrade. But the thing is, they are just metal appendages. And there's been a number of times where he gets his fucking metal arm rusted. Like, it can get rusted, or it fucking blew up when he fought Scar. But to be fair, if he got grabbed on his regular arm, he probably would have died. So the metal arm blowing the fuck up is a different thing entirely. But Edward's metal limbs, the arm and the leg, aren't necessarily upgrades, as they are just, like, replacements that things actually happen to them in the story to make it interesting. I think that's pretty cool. Alphonse is just a soul in a suit of armor. He's a little different. But yeah, the way Edward's limbs, metallic limbs, are done are interesting because they really play into the fact that they are in fact prosthetic limbs, and that he get to beat the shit out of them. But then sometimes you'll just see a character who they have a prosthetic limb or hand or foot or whatever, just to say that, oh, they have a prosthetic, and they don't do anything with it. But then you have a character like Baiken who's straight up missing a fucking arm and an eye, and she's just like, all right, well, I'm still gonna be strong. I'm not gonna let this hold me back. But she's still obviously fighting with 1 arm, right? And she's compensating super hard for it. Even if it's like, oh, I don't know anything about Baiken's frame data, mind you. But even if Baiken's frame data was, like, stupid, and you'd be like, she has 1 arm, why is she so fast? Well, technique, baby. But yeah, handling characters with handicaps like that can be pretty difficult. Because either you put too much attention to it, or you don't put enough attention to it. So you gotta kind of balance it. But basically, I think Saki would have been cool if she had 1 arm. Simply had 1 arm, and she was a kicking machine. Because she doesn't need that arm. She can just kick the shit out of you. Alright, now we have Marissa. Pretty plain Jane, honestly. Marissa is pretty plain Jane. But It works for her. It works for her. Also, a lot more black than her outfit's a lot more black. Kind of a return to form for her. Hakuto is there as well. Looks more like a flashlight, mind you. And her broom's straight. She fixed her broom. Look at that. Alright, and then we have Sakuya, who looks pretty much identical to what she looked like in 14. If not completely identical, just with a healthier tone and big knives. Alright, and then you have Sanai. Oh, man. Here she is again, boys. She's got the long socks, the short skirt, and the short hair. And got a collective, that's nice, ZUN. And then went back to doing anything but. Anything but. And we got Michael. Okay. So... It's definitely not a meme. Where would I put Michael? I wouldn't call it weird. I'd probably put her here, though. I like the Calico Cat hair style thing, where she has highlights in her hair that kind of works for it. But I think the outfit having like weird red and orange patches all over it kind of hurts her more than it helps her. She looks kind of messy. Like, I feel like her hair and her tail are a good enough indicator of what she is. The coin is a good touch as well, and the pose is a good touch. But I feel like the patchwork on her outfit kind of doesn't really do her any favors. If he just kind of cleaned up her outfit, she would look nicer, and it would still be clear what she is. But I think it's like not over design, mind you, but I just think it's kind of messy. Iconic, like half of Mika's art and Dojin's put Mika in that pose. Yeah, all 5 of them, dude. Not like her pose is exactly that of what a Maneki Neko does. God damn. Takane. You know Takane's hands are broken? I bet you didn't. You were probably better never knowing that. She's got 2 right hands because she's a freak. Not a good job on that one, buddy. No, Takane's fine. Aside from the broken hands, her outfit is fine. She's got the carry-on bag, she's got the key, she's got the camo, she's got a neat hat, she's got a pretty unique hairstyle. The cards or whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with her design at all, but she does have 2 right hands, which is kind of freaky. And the longer you look at her, the more it kind of like, the weirder it kind of gets. Alright, then we have Sanyo. Sanyo looks like 3 other characters. 2 other characters. Now, what you need to know about Sanyo is there. She's got the pipe. I think she's got a fan. And you can see her outfit and her hairstyle and whatnot. The main thing is that there's also the deal with the wrappings, like the bindings. Now, it's pretty common for this character, I'd say, to assume that she's wearing, like, chest bindings. Sometimes you see a tattoo as well. She's got that aesthetic to her. Obviously, ZUN does not encapsulate that part. Same deal with Yashie. ZUN can't really draw characters to look overly intimidating. Even when it's pretty clear, like, they're supposed to command a little more respect and maturity to them in general. But then ZUN's art is like, you know, it's kind of silly looking. That's why I think that's kind of why some of his more mature characters can suffer. It's just because a lot of the characters he draws are more squishy, but then he draws these more like take me seriously characters in the same art style, but it's not as easy to take them seriously. So you get a lot of art. Like Yashie is a great example. I tend to think of a charismatic purgatory goddess that came out after Yashie, where it was like, holy shit, okay, this chick kind of a freak. Like, she's spooky. But then you look at charismatic purgatory goddesses Yashie, and it's like, okay, I can understand how, based on what I know about Yashie as a character, this makes sense to me. But then you look at ZUN's Yashie, and you're like, this bitch? This bitch? I don't think so. But it is like, it is her personality. And it works for her. It's just strictly, ZUN's art makes her look silly, and you don't take her as seriously. I just think it's funny. I made an example in the Touhou video as well, like the idea of like sitting Reimu versus Vampire Killer's Reimu. It's just such a crazy difference in style, but the official style of Reimu comes from her being squishy, but then you get this really dolled up and like cool gear, very stern expression, really cool looking Reimu. And the origin of that, with that personality, comes from Squishy McBean Bean. So, Squishy McBean Bean. That's what you get. Alright, Misamaru. How do I explain Misamaru? It's I don't think it's a meme. I don't think it's basic. I don't even think it's not necessarily very good. I don't know. I just don't think her design is very good in general. That's all. That's really all it is. It's too late to make a new category now. You know what I think really kills it for her? Is her haircut. Her big fucking forehead. However, I think her Megatamas, the Megatama belt around her is pretty cool. And the, like, that's about it. That's about as far as I go. That's about as far as I go with that character. Cool idea that you don't see very often, and that, well, you don't really see Misamaru very often at all, mind you. But I just don't think I don't think she's that interesting, or her design isn't that great, but I think that the Megatama in particular is pretty cool. So that should be added at all time. Tsukasa. This bitch. This yeepy ass bitch. God damn. It's spooky up in here. Yeah, so Tsukasa's design, you can see everything you need to see. She does the stupid little fox hand thing. She's got a stupid little tube. Her stupid outfit, her stupid tail, and her stupid extra long bang that goes like straight down to her chin. Jesus Christ, get a haircut, lady. Fucking freak. Megumu. Hey, what? Oh, Pyramid Cave is one of my favorites. Megumu is... Yeah, I'd say Megumu is solid. Her outfit is quite different from other Tengu in that it doesn't really look like a... It doesn't look like a uniform, necessarily. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't look like a uniform of the established Tengu. Momiji has given us the idea of Patrolman Tengu. Aya and Hitate, more so Aya, has given an idea of Reporter Tengu outfits. But Megumu is kind of in her own design, but she's also the only Tengu we've ever seen of this degree in the hierarchy, right? But I think it's mostly just a matter of, like, you know, it's easier to infer from Momiji that other patrol Tengu wear that outfit as a uniform. And it's probably more of just, like, for Aya's case, it's more of a... Aya is the only example, so all Mook Tengu, Crow Tengu wear this outfit too. Because Hitate's outfit is similar. I don't even know where Hitate is. Hitate's outfit is kind of similar. Different colored, mind you, but the overall theme of it is there. So I guess it's fair to assume that most of them would wear like that. But I feel like I feel like for the most part, they straight up wear Aya's outfit. So, it could just be fashion, but it's become an established thing at this point because of just the gap in time of release between them, I suppose. But yeah, Megumi's design and outfit is unique among the Tengu for sure. And it's pretty likely you don't see other Tengu wearing what she's wearing. So I'd say that's pretty good. Why does it not make her perfect? Oh. Why does she carry a fucking tripod with her? Well, I don't get that part. I don't get that part. Also, she's got a bunch of puffballs on the end of what I assume is like the black cape. Also, I can't tell if the cape is only draped to one sleeve or both, but I'm pretty sure it's draped to both based on the fact that I can see the bottom of it, but I can't see any of another gold armband along her other shoulder at all, so I can't really tell what's going on with that outfit from what I can see. Then we got Shimada. Shimada's weird. She's fine. Granted, there's nothing inherently wrong with her, but why the fuck are there so many zippers on her outfit, dude? It's only on one side, dumbass Big Bird. Did you call me a dumbass Big Bird? What did I do? Bro, what? I didn't do anything. Anyway, yeah, I like Shimada's design, but there's so fucking many zippers on her outfit. It's insane, to a point where drawing her seems like a nightmare if you want to be accurate to what she looks like. But there's nothing really wrong with her. Like, I like the coin pouch on her. Her pose is stupid. You can even put the pose as the weird standout feature, but I think it's the fact that she has a bunch of zippers, and I don't understand how they connect. Really, I think that's the part that gets me the most. I don't know how any of these zippers connect at all. How does she take her clothes off? Does she unzip each individual part? Does she need to? Did she break the zipper off so it's just zipped up? Why is it a zipper? I don't understand why it's a zipper at all. I got questions. I need answers. And you got Momoyo. So, Momoyo's design, I think, is great. My only thing, and to be honest, I don't even know if this is the case. Why does she have to have 20 fucking ribbons along her limbs? You know? That's all. I know. She's a centipede. There's to represent her multiple limbs, but there's that's just so obnoxious. Why would you want to draw all those fucking ribbons? Actually, I think her arms only have 3, but her legs have 5. She also has these weird like chain hoops on the end of her skirt. Her design overall looks kind of obnoxious and tedious. Not necessarily complicated, just tedious. You can see in her fucking leg just sticking out. You can just count all 5 ribbons. Just like, I don't want to draw all those fucking ribbons, man. I don't want to draw all those ribbons. That's so much. Oh my god. But her design is cool. Her design is pretty cool. I just think it's a bit of a tedious one. I think this Nitori is ugly as shit. Plain and simple, not good job. I think that this Nitori is mad ugly. Gross ugly. That ain't my Nitori. Fucking, they put her head halfway into a hydraulic press. Motherfucker didn't even put the symbol on her hat. She's missing the hat symbol. Nobody will ever use this Nitori for anything. Every other Nitori is better. This Nitori is just like, oh, Nitori's here, and then you see her and you go, ah! And that, yeah, it's like when SpongeBob reacts to Patrick in the stall when he catches the ugly. That's what happens when Nitori is revealed to you in 18.5. I stand by this. I stand by this opinion. This is one of ZUN's worst character portraits in the entire series. Fact. Anyway, now we're on 19. So the funny thing to me about 19 is that Reimu actually puts back on her 17 outfit for the game because it has the animal aesthetic. So she's got the paw prints up her dress again. Her stick is massive. She's got a talisman. You can't see her legs, but you can assume it's the same boots that have been there for the last like 5 games. But yeah, concepts are clear. Same deal. Now what's interesting is that Marissa doesn't have the kitty apron. Oh, it's the instrumental version. Okay. So Marissa doesn't have the kitty apron that she had in 17. Instead, she has her ribbon on her hat is designed to look like cat ears. Also, her broom is like purple. The fuck? Why is her broom like pinkish purple? So yeah, well, it's fine. It's close enough, but yeah, it's weird that she's missing that. And Yomo's not here, so we don't talk about her. And here comes Snai again with wings on her back that are supposed to represent animalistic features. I don't really know why or what animal it's supposed to represent, but apparently the wings on her back are meant to be her animal part. But they don't really look like anything. You could say maybe they're bird wings, but they're like very transparent. They're more like what are they? Where's her stick? And her hair is still pretty short, and her socks are still long, and nobody cares. The Ron is Ron. Now, here's what I like about this Ron design. Here's what I like about this Ron design. She's holding the Shikigami paper, and it's shaped like a Bakeneko. Otherwise, there's nothing from this design that you can't get from the original. In fact, you get more from the original because you can see her feet. But I really like, in particular, the little Bakeneko Shikigami that she's holding. Shikigami, yes. I like that. But yeah, Ron from 7 to 19, no major, not even really minor changes. And she's still Ron. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Alright, On. So On's hair is a lot more freeform in this one. Everything about her, I think, is pretty good. I like her silly pose. I would say probably... you could probably put it in perfection. You can't see her shoes. You can't see her tail either. Well, see, that's the interesting thing about On, is that she does have a tail. ZUN never drew it, but he did put in her music comment. He did put in his music comment for On that she has a tail, but the back sprite doesn't draw a tail. But people have done On with a tail, so there's no official look to the tail. But I think people have just kind of used Komainu statues in general as people just kind of use Komainu statues in general for the idea of what her tail would look like. And her tail is there. It's confirmed by ZUN. It's just for some reason it was never drawn in 19 or 16, and not even on the player sprite or the boss sprite in 19 was it there either. Nazrin. Yo, Eggman instrumental into Eggman non-instrumental. This playlist is like 170 mixes. How did this happen? Turn it up. So good. Love it. So the main difference between these two Nazarins is that the pattern on the bottom of Nazarin's dress is also present on the capelet on the new Nazarin. I think the ears? No, the ears are still gray. The rods are still accurate, if you were wondering. They still point the right direction. The rat tail is still there. So, yeah. It's not that different. But, again, the only difference, aside from the color of their main outfit, is the holes. The holes in the capelet, which you don't really see at all. But that's mostly just because 19 is so new, whereas the original Nazarin design was from 2009. Good luck replacing that. Still a fine design, though. Satan. Satan is pretty much the same way. He did change the color of the jelly. But otherwise, that's Satan. There's, you know, the clip's still there, the mallet's still there. The mallet's fucking girthy. I'll give you that. Mallet's girthy, but it's still Satan at the end of the day. It's still just Satan. Orin is weird. Orin is weird. Well, now, why is she weird? Because she has regular ears. But streamers, she has regular ears at her debut. I don't mean exposed ears. I mean the fact that she just has human ears now. The other ears were pointed. All of Oren's appearances gave her pointed ears. And then here we are in 19 when ZUN's just like, actually no. And her ears are normal shaped. It's so jarring. I mean, it's already jarring to begin with that she has them. But yeah. So otherwise it's fine. Everything about it is fine. I think her pose is goofy. Fucking double gun sideways. Stupid ass looking pose. But her ear changing that significantly is strange to me. I don't know why he bothered to change it. It's one of those things that makes no sense. And then here we have Tsukasa again. So this Tsukasa is actually a bit better. If only because the tail is definitely a lot leaner. Tail's a lot leaner. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. This one's just missing the defining hand pose, you know? This one's hand pose really sells it. But this one's tail right here is pretty staple. Giving her the big tail. She's got a tiny tail in 18. Otherwise, the design is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. She's a lot thinner, actually, in 19. Burner. Mamizo. Her jug is still there. Her tail is bigger. Her tail is definitely bigger than it was in 13. It looks kind of limp. She's got the sake jug on it. Now she has a pipe instead of a notepad, which makes a lot more sense to her character for sure. Would I say it's her definitive? Probably not, because it's still not that big. Also, her hair color is like... Her hair color is kind of a weird shade of brown, huh? I can't even really make out what that color is. And then we have Yashie. So her eye color changed for some reason. The string on her shirt changed from red to purple. The color of her hair shifted hue. Same with her outfit. And now she has a massive tail. So, is this definitive Yashie? I'd say no, because Yashie's most used eye color is still red. But I do think that her bigger tail is a thing that you see more often in general. So it's one of those things like, I guess like Tay, where they take one aspect of a design and then they put it to the overall the other one, and that's kind of like the de facto character. Because I really do feel like the big tail is more common. Even before 19, it was still like they still gave her a tail that really showed. But her eyes are pretty much always red. The shade of blue on her outfit and the red string as well. It's a weird change. It's a really weird change to make that red string purple for no real reason. Also changing her eye color to yellow. Maybe he just got sick of characters that were blonde with red eyes. Because he's got a lot of them. Okay, I don't know if he has a lot of them, but he's definitely got a few of them. I'd have to look into it. But obviously we got the Rumia, Flandre, Ringo. Pretty sure Ringo's eyes are red. Aren't most Moon Rabbit's eyes red? Tay's eyes are red. Are they? I can't tell from this distance. I can't tell. Saki. Long time no see, huh, treasure hunter? Did you find my emerald? That's a good one. Your emerald? Talking to you is a waste of time. Okay. Well, she got her arm back. I'll be real with you, chat. I don't think the pose itself was bad or anything, but I just think that Saki looked kind of ugly in this game. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I just think she looks ugly in this game. She's kind of ugly. That's all. Hand over those Master Emerald pieces. Give them to me. Yuma. Oh boy. Now, it's not fair to call this one rough. It's not fair to call this one rough, but it is a meme. And it's because of the expression. It's not rough, but it's a meme. I love this Yuma. That's fine. You can love this meme if you want. But this Yuma, when this Yuma came out, it was very confusing. Because 17.5 was like, oh, this Yuma got that big, hugely defining characteristic with her expression. And then it was just like wiped away. Yeah, that would cause a number of like, huh? Where did they go? So her pose is good. Like, it's not bad. It's not rough by any means. But the fact that she just got a fucking facelift for 19 is like, what? Why? ZUN feels like he's really stubborn. ZUN feels like he's really stubborn about things without being like expressive about his opinion towards things, you know? Like when Yuma came out, and I think Beat Mario asked him. I think it was Beat Mario who asked him, and he just asked him like, why was Yuma, like, where did Yuma's teeth go? Why is she like that 19? And ZUN's answer was just, she didn't look like that on my concept sheet. Like not even like a passive aggressive statement or anything, but his answer was so blank. It was just like, yeah, she looks like this because she wasn't supposed. She looked like this when I designed her, and that was all. That was it. Next question, kind of deal. It's like, it's not really an aggressive answer, but there's something about the straightforwardness of that answer that makes you think like, oh, okay, all right, okay, yeah. There's like a little bit of a. There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that to his statements. I mean, he's made less than subtle statements towards Lost Word, as we know, but I do think it's funny with Yuma specifically here, where it's just like, oh, you know, the fans saw these jagged teeth on Yuma, and they thought, you know, they were really confused as to why it was just gone the next game. And ZUN was just like, it's because I designed her without those. And I was like, all right, damn, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. You got it. Alright, Seika. It's fine. I think it's weird, but it's fine. Now, granted, this is like we're comparing this character. Also, her horns are fucked up. Let's get that out of the way. Her horns and hair color fucked up. But we're comparing this to like 2003, 2004. I think it was 2004. Pretty sure Immature Missing Power was 2004, December. But yeah, 2004 to 2020, 23. It's a long time with no ZUN Suika. That's for sure. But Suika appeared, it's like, whoa, Suika's here. But then you kind of got flashbanged by her. You know? She doesn't even do any of that silly-eyed stuff that she does in the fighting games where she's got that seeker face, you know? She's got that seeker face. But then she doesn't got that at all. Alright, Monkey. Monkey with her french fries. Monkey's design is pretty solid. But I also think that her outfit is surprisingly nicer than Nemono's. And that's mainly just because of the color choices, I think. They look less raggedy. The green, the blue, and the yellow, it's more vibrant. Whereas the dull yellow, the orange, and the red, it's like, I get it's supposed to color the color of autumn. But it looks really raggedy, where there's more of a pattern. There's more of a pattern and vibrant color to B10s. But yeah, you can see everything about B10. I don't know if I'd call it perfect. You kind of do see everything you need to see. No, I'd probably up her up here. I think she does a good job showing everything she needs to show. It's weird that she only has one sleeve, though. I don't know what that's about. You can see her feet, you can see her tail, you can see her weapon, I suppose. The long test tube that's supposed to be like, it's kind of like a stand-in for the Wukong's. The fuck is this? Bro. I've never heard that part of the song before. Story select. Enoko. So, Enoko is great. The only reason I'm putting her here is because it's never been established whether or not she can take those bear traps off. Now, obviously, you could argue that she should be able to take them off because why the fuck wouldn't she? Then let me raise you this. That jewel around her neck, she can't get rid of that. She can't take that off. Rumia can't take her ribbon off. So maybe Enoko can't take her bear traps off. I would assume she can, for my sake. But also, the portrait art does a very good job expressing how she controls it, which I think is great. So one bear trap is open and one bear trap is closed. In the open bear trap, her palm is open. In the closed bear trap, she's clenching her fist. So that shows how she controls the bear traps with her her hands. But whether or not she can take them off is something that's never been discussed or mentioned or anything like that. It's pretty safe to assume she probably can take them off. But yeah, they're something. And they're pretty iconic to her as well, so people tend to keep them in there. Chiari. Chiari is an example of why smell-o-vision should never come to be. Really cool. This character is gross. This character is gross. And that's why it's such a good job. Now, you can't see her tail. That's kind of a problem. Can't see her tail at all. But this is indeed accurate to what the character is. She's got a messy hair. Her hair is messy. It's greasy. Her clothes are loose, ragged, unkempt. She's got a bunch of fucking shots and vials along her side. And her pants are cut and frilled. Stupid. Fuck you. He hating. Yeah, I'm hating. Fuck you. Fuck you. In-game, you can see her tail just fine. That's fantastic information and completely irrelevant to the portrait art. But thank you for your useless input. Alright, Hisami. So you know what's cool about Hisami? Oh, the shadow credits theme. Hisami's eyeballs. Did you know her eyes? You can't really see them in this portrait, but some of them you can see. The little flower thing flips upwards and you can see it better. But none of her portrait arts actually 100% obscure her eyes. You can still always kind of see them. That said, she's kind of a weird shaped character. Why is she weird shaped? I don't know, she just is. Look at her body and then look at her leg, man. Where's the other leg going? Where's her kneecap? Where's her kneecap? So I'm putting her here. She's fine. She's fine, but I have trouble establishing what her leg is doing under the dress. I assume it's just standing, but the more I look at her exposed leg, the less it looks like a leg to me, and more it looks like rubber, you know? Like a rubbery... How do I explain it? How do I explain it? Maybe it's supposed to be going backwards or something. Oh. And then Zamu. Zamu ugly, bro. Zamu is ugly. But it's fine. Her design is fine. So, you know what's cool? You can't see it here, but in Zamu's portrait art, her damaged art that you can only see in verses when you beat her, her shirt rips and you can actually see her shorts and they go up to her fucking nipples. I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. Her pants start at the midpoint of her chest. They go so high up her body, it's not even funny. Well, I'm laughing, so it's kind of funny. But if you look at it yourself, look at Zamu's damaged art. You'll see it. They go so high. They go so high, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I think her clothes are stupid anyway, but that's just a me problem. That's a me problem. But she's still, like, everything you need to know about Zamu is still there, I suppose. I don't know why she's sitting on a weird fucking skull rock thing, though. She's one of those characters who just kind of has a random aesthetic to her, like, present. Like, I guess Eika also has rocks that she's sitting on. But, well, those are just flat stones. Zamu is sitting on a rock that's encrusted with red skeletons. That's crazy. That's crazy. Red skeleton. Defining characteristic. He's red. Great. God, this song is so silly. I can't take this fucking song so seriously, dude. Why is it a 5-minute long song? Oh my god. I'm gonna throw it all away. No, not wicked. It's not wicked. Alright, chat. There we go. We did it. Please clap. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. So, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that sometimes ZUN draws portrait arts that capture everything you need to know about a character right away, and it's great. And these ones are the characters that I think do the best job at expressing what his characters are meant to look like. It's harder to design personality tropes through these kinds of things. Accessories, full body, enough body, stuff like that. Iconic are characters whose poses are just, their poses were really iconic. You know, Remy's stupid pose, Flandere's pose. Hina always does that pose when she spins. Oku's pose is used multiple times. Kogasa's pose. Oh, actually, I meant to switch these two. There we go. Kogasa's pose being one-legged. Futo's pose is kind of a meme, but I call it iconic. And then Okina in a chair. Those are all very iconic, very well-known poses for characters. Core concepts is characters where you can get pretty much everything you need out of the characters designed from it, but there are some aspects to it that aren't present, either because A, fans created something they liked better, or B, something about them wasn't perfectly established in them, or maybe a later game that wasn't drawn by ZUN adds a detail to them that becomes popular. Like Byakuren. Byakuren here, as an example, it was unclear about her hair color, and then ZUN did end up confirming it, but then in the fighting games when she came as a character in those ones, you see her hair color without the scroll was very clear, so on and so forth. Yuko, just because the kimono design isn't the one that's used very commonly. Alice is there because it is missing key components that she's known for, deeper colors, boots, stuff like that. So this category is more like, you know, it's good groundwork, but there's extra details you might want to add or change around that did end up getting changed in some capacity to formulate what is the most like well-known design of a character. Cool ideas are just aspects of a character's design that you don't see very often at all. It's mostly just Marissa, but Sakuya's like clock apron is a good one. I think it's really cool that nobody really bothers with. Aya's crow familiar. I like Marissa's magic stick and winter clothes. Aya's skirt. Misamaru's Megatamas. That's about it. Weird standout, otherwise normal. Basically just something about the design that's kind of strange. Marissa with her long bang. Kana with her small head. Most of the PC98 ones are kind of just the small heads. More than anything. But then when you get to the actual characters, it's aspects to them that are missing, that are like notably missing, but with even if like when you take those away, there's not anything inherently wrong with them. Like Marissa's there from PCB because she's missing her braid. Lyrica's there because of her hair color and her shorts. Yomo's there because of her big fucking red eyes. Yukari's there because she's got a weird arm. Remy's there because she looks like a ball of fluff. Very strange. Misty is there for the leg warmers and the nails. Less so the nails, more so the leg warmers. POV art is kind of weird in general. Misty's there again. Mounted face Snai, pink skin Tojiko, you know, straight bang Reimu, short haired Snai, one arm Saki, two right hands Takane, stuff like that. You know, like there's just something about them that makes you go, that's kind of weird. But otherwise, they're perfectly fine, right? They're perfectly fine. Not good job are portrait arts that I don't think are very good, which is mostly PC98. The only one is like a Shinky. Shinky's portrait art here, the one used, is not the, it's the default one, and it's obscuring a lot of detail that's kind of important to her design, which is why I put it a not good job. Not that it's bad, just that there's a lot more to her design that is impactful that can't be seen in her portrait art in general, and it's not reflective in there. You don't really need it though because of the player, the boss sprite, but this is purely on portrait art, so you know. EOSD Reimu is strange. I think Chirno is strange. PCB menu Reimu is a different character. Letty I don't think looks very good at all. I don't think Marissa looks very particularly good. Kasume looks like she's made of a different material. And Urami's outfit is terrible, and Nitori in general from 18.5 is not good. Fucked up so much is an identifiable feature. Patchy stripes, obvious one. The Tay one is related to her being barefoot in most depictions, despite the POFE for version not actually being barefoot. Murasa's short skirt incident, and Hikati's t-shirt. Very basic, nothing identifiable, is basically as it seems. It's a character who exists, and there's nothing inherently on them that makes you go, oh, it's that character. Mugetsu does not look like anything but a generic maid, and Sarah is really not that unique in general. Even the example I gave with like Orange still holding her baton, so you can see that, but Sarah is just kind of there, and Mugetsu is just kind of there. And it's crazy because Mugetsu's an extra stage boss, but she just looks like a fucking maid. She just looks like a maid, dude. So rough, it's a meme. Mailing's creepy pose. Sakuya's creepy pose. Satori's everything. Yatsuhashi's extreme averageness. Lolke Marissa's face. Yuma's 1,000 yard stare. It's her big smile. Freak show by accident. I don't agree. I think Genji looks like a turtle. Everybody kept calling him a ghoul, and I listened to democracy. That's all. Meta, I think, looks really bad the longer you look at it. I don't think it looks good at all. I think Yukari in PCB is a very ugly looking character. She looks very gross when she emotes. Mountain of Faith Reimu is strange, and that, even if you don't count my opinion, that one's a pretty popular one to rip on in general. And I think that Ichin's design from UFO is pretty not great, especially when you compare it to the redesign that she gets in fighting games. It makes her UFO design look like a mess. Otherwise, it would have just been whatever. And then, not with who this is supposed to be. These are the 4 portraits where that is not the character it is meant to be. We have Reimu from the Stage Clear, Miko-san from Touhou 1. We have Redhead Marissa. We have, that's Mima. And we have Touhou 5 Marissa. Touhou 5's Marissa is not Marissa. It's so baffling to me that Lotus Land Stories Marissa is this character right here. This character. She's so, like, established here. You know? She's so established. Like, that's her. And then immediately the next game, she looks like this. Who the fuck is this? I've never seen this character before. That's not Marissa. She looks so sad. She looks way too gloomy. Even her outfit got a darker shade of black purple. It's not Marissa, bro. Marissa went through like an identity crisis all over the fucking place in PC 98, huh? But there you go, chat. There's streamers' definitive opinion list. Yep, those are my opinions. That's all it is. There you go. Overall, ZUN's portraits are pretty solid, and they do a good job at what they're supposed to do. It's just every now and again, he makes one that is not so great, or it's hilarious how not great it is, to a point where it's actually the best thing you could get. Like this one. We love this one. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.